What's going on, everybody, and welcome back. I hope you all had a fantastic new comic book day this week and you were able to grab all of your issues on time. I managed to grab 10 comics this week, and honestly, for the most part, I thought this was a very underwhelming week. The indies, as always, absolutely killed it, and I'm very excited to talk about them with you guys, but a lot of these issues were very underwhelming. A lot of them, I thought they were going to be a lot better, they just kind of fell short, but I'm very excited to talk about them with you, and as always, as I begin to get into this top 10 list, just be aware, there's definitely going to be spoilers. I get very excited talking about these books. I let some stuff slip up, but I do put a little spoiler tag down below in the corner to give you a heads up that a spoiler is about to be happening. So now let's jump right into this top 10 list. Here we go, everyone. We've got coming in at number 10 this week. This is Boom Studios' Berserker, issue number 9. This is cover A. I really wasn't a fan of this issue, but to be completely honest with you, I think this has to be one of the most disappointing series that I've read in a very long time. From the first issue to now, it feels like there has been zero plot progression. I know some issues, they implement a little bit of things, like a little bit of backstory, how he kind of became the way he is. But other than that, I mean, we just have a ton of action, which is very cool, and I do like the artwork and the gore as well. I do think it's very well done. It matches the story that they're trying to tell. But there really is no story. I want a little bit more plot. I would like something to be a little bit more developed. But that's enough complaining about that. As far as this issue goes, I would love to talk about that more down below in the comments section with you guys, what your thoughts are in this series. This issue, if you read the last 8, you pretty much read this one as well. We've got our main character, and I think they even mentioned in this one, he's going Berserker now. And he just, he went crazy. He was basically tearing people apart, and it was very awesome to read, but it only took me about 30 seconds to read the whole issue. Like I said before, let's talk about this one more down below, because not a lot of other stuff really happened in it. But for those reasons, we've got Boom Studios' Berserker, issue number 9, coming in at number 10. Next up on my list this week, we've got coming in at number 9. This is Marvel's Captain America, Symbol of Truth, issue number 2. This is cover A. I actually really enjoyed that first issue. It was a very last-second pickup, and I thought to myself, why not try and grab it? It's a little bit lighter of a week, and I was really surprised by it. I liked the artwork. I thought the storytelling was very well, too, for a first issue. We had Captain America, Sam Wilson, and then the Falcon. I believe they were trying to stop a train, and, it was a typical just superhero story. They got to stop the bad guys, save the day, and just, ride off into the sunset. This one kind of picked up where that one left off, and I just felt like it was all over the place. And then the cover kind of threw me off, too, when I grabbed it, because it's not on my pull list. I thought, why is Deadpool on here? Is Deadpool going to make an appearance? And he did. It felt very out of place, and it just didn't really feel necessary to the story. I don't know if that's just me. Maybe it's just my opinion. This is going to be a spoiler. They also brought Dr. Doom into it as well. It almost feels as if there's maybe 3, kind of 4 separate plot points going on in this little story they have happening right now. So that's why I said before, it kind of feels like it's all over the place. Just my opinion, though. I'm going to continue on with this one for another issue or 2, but for those reasons, we've got Marvel's Captain America, Symbol of Truth, issue number 2, coming in at number 9. Folks, next up on my list this week, we've got coming in at number 8. This is Marvel's Obi-Wan, issue number 2. This is cover A. Now, before I get into my opinions on this issue and my review, just be aware, I always like to give you a heads up. I'm not a big Star Wars fan. I haven't read a lot of the stuff. I haven't seen any of the newest movies or the TV shows. I've seen some of the stuff, but not all of it. So keep that in mind. Take everything with a grain of salt, because my knowledge on Star Wars just really isn't there. Every time I start a series, I end up getting bored with it and I stop. So with this one, I didn't think this issue was all that good. I really enjoyed the first one, though. This one was set up the exact same way as the first one, so if you were a little on the fence with it, it seems though it's going to be Obi-Wan. He's older, and he's basically just telling stories of the past. I'm definitely going to keep going with this series, though, because like I said, I really enjoyed the first one. This one, I just thought was more boring, but it did have a very good moral of the story at the very end. They're talking about, the dark and the light, and just, Obi-Wan is a good guy. He doesn't want to kill anybody, hurt anybody. He wants to save as many people as he can. And that's kind of just the whole point of this issue. Other than that, it did feel a little boring. There was some cool action, though, but outside of that, just a cool little here's the moral of the story type issue. Let's talk about it more down below, but for those reasons, we've got Marvel's Obi-Wan, issue number 2, coming in at number 8. Now we've got coming in at number 7 this week, this is Marvel's Venom, Lethal Protector, issue number 3. This is cover A. This is a series that I keep going back and forth on. I really enjoyed the first one, didn't like the second one at all. This one, didn't hate it, didn't love it, it was just an alright issue, but I promise you, I told you in the beginning of the video, there was a lot of books that I really didn't like this week, or I thought they were underwhelming. Towards the top of this list, there are some books that I really enjoyed. This one, though, like I said, it was just alright. The beginning of it, everything that Eddie did with the Life Foundation, it kind of felt out of place to the series. It felt like, to me, that it was very unnecessary from the last 2 issues, so I didn't like that intro part. Once we got that out of the way and he's back in his city and he's got his mindset again, like, hey, we gotta kill Spider-Man, we gotta do this. I like that aspect of the story, some cool action. Chance the Encounter made an appearance as well, but outside of that, just an alright issue. At this point, I might as well continue on, ride it out. I think it's only a 5-issue miniseries, but for those reasons, we've got Venom, Lethal Protector, issue number 3, coming in at number 7. And next up, folks, we've got coming in at number 6, this is AWA's Hit Me, issue number 4, this is cover A. I honestly really like this issue. I thought it was very well done, and overall, I think this is a fantastic series. Each issue plays its own role in just the overall grand scheme of the series. This one in particular, I thought was probably the slowest one of the series so far, but it does lead quite nicely into that 5th and final issue, so definitely try to find those back issues if you can. And if you are interested in starting this series, just be aware it is definitely a little bit more on the graphic side. Our main character, Lulu, her job, literally, the series is called Hit Me. That's how she gets paid. People pay her to get hit and tortured and stuff like that, so just be aware of that once you get into this series. Like I said, though, this one was definitely the slowest one, but we do get some nice backstory on the character Lo. We learn everything about her, and just everything that kind of entails that character, how Lulu met her, Danny, everything that's going on with them, a bunch of different perspectives, so I'm really excited to see how they wrap this one up. So like I said before, definitely check this one out if you can, or just wait for the trade paperback. It's coming out shortly, but for those reasons, we've got AWA's Hit Me, issue number 4, coming in at number 6. And now, folks, we're down to our top 5 issues of the week, and if you are enjoying the video so far, be sure to hit that thumbs up button down below. We've got coming in at number 5, this is Marvel's new series, we've got The Variance, issue number 1. This is cover A for it. I was really excited for this new series. I was hyping it up for myself because I'm a big fan of Jessica Jones. Definitely read her omnibus if you haven't already picked it up. It is a phenomenal story. The artwork, on the other hand, we can talk about that another time, but the story is definitely great. If you haven't read anything with Jessica Jones, she's a detective, so go into it thinking the story is going to be a tad bit on the slower side, and I thought that's exactly what this was. It's a little bit slower. We got a lot of just background story on her, what she's been up to, just kind of her day-to-day, how she feels about herself, and, you know, Daredevil makes an appearance, some other people make an appearance as well. So overall, I really enjoyed this first issue. The artwork was cool too, but there's something I gotta talk about with this one. While I did put it at number 5, I enjoyed it overall. This might just be me. I am so sick already of all the variant stuff. They do make an appearance in this one, just different versions of Jessica Jones, so, you know, minor spoiler, but still. We've got the Miles Morales, just the whole different multiverse stuff going on right now with that whole series, the Gwenverse series, the stuff in the TV shows on Disney+, just everything with variants in general and just different versions. I'm kind of over it, and I have a feeling they're going to be continuing on with this one for a little while now. That's my opinion. That's just how I feel about it, but still, very cool first issue. Let's talk about it more down below, but we've got coming in at number 5 this week, The Variance, issue number 1. Next up, we've got coming in at number 4 this week. This is Images, A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance, issue number 9. This is cover A. This is a phenomenal issue, and this honestly might be one of my favorite ones of the series so far. I really loved the last one. It was very just a lot of action, gore, and everything that they've been building up to happened in that issue. This one takes place probably just a few weeks, maybe a couple months later. Our main character, he's still taking care of the kid. I believe his name is Xavier. Our main character, he gets a little bit of bad news, and, you know, this issue really relied on the expressions of the characters and the artwork. This was a very kind of sad and feel-good issue at the same time. Like I said, he got some bad news, and he said, you know what, kid? Put the books away, stop learning, and, you know, we're going to just have a day. We're going to take everything in that we possibly can and experience just life. I loved it. Definitely read it. And for those reasons, we've got A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance, issue number 9, coming in at number 4. Down to the top 3 issues of the week. We've got coming in at number 3 this week. This is Images, The Department of Truth, issue number 19. This is cover A. This is another great issue of the series. This one still feels like it's a little bit back on track. We've got all of our main characters in this one. We've got Cole, Lee Harvey Oswald, Hawk makes an appearance for a little bit. His husband's in there for a little bit as well. Just a ton of different characters making an appearance, and just everybody's kind of just talking and communicating with each other, kind of playing catch-up, seeing where their heads are at. So it was a little bit slower of an issue. I mean, a lot of these issues are kind of a little bit more on the slower side until they finally meet one of the conspiracies and something finally pops off. But all the characters are kind of, like I said, just seeing where their heads are at, seeing what's going on inside of them. But the reason I'm putting this one at number 3 is the cliffhanger we got left at the very end. That made the entire issue, because honestly, reading up to it, I thought, it's just another issue of Department of Truth. It's good, but nothing really sets it apart. That cliffhanger is really just going to push everything in the series forward. I can't wait to see what he does with it. Let's talk about it more down below. I do not want to spoil it all, but for those reasons, we've got the Department of Truth, issue number 19, coming in at number 3. Down to the final 2 issues of the week. We've got coming in at number 2 this week. This is Images. What's the Furthest Place from Here? Issue number 7. This is cover A. I am so hooked on this series now. When I first started it, I thought the first issue was okay. Second issue, okay. Third one brought me in a little bit, but the fourth one pretty much sold me. But then the 5th and the 6th issue, I was absolutely hooked. The 6th issue was the end of the arc, and I could not wait to see how they started it. This one does not pick up where the last one left off. It almost feels as if it's kind of a brand new story, but instead of it being a new story, we're actually getting events that happened in the past that kind of led to all the kids being put in the town. We still don't have a lot of info. Everything feels as if it's up in the air, but man, I really enjoyed seeing how kind of things played out the way that they did. I'm not going to be getting too much deeper in with it. You got to read it for yourself, but for those reasons, we've got What's the Furthest Place from Here, issue number 7, coming in at number 2. And this is it, everyone. My top read of the week. We've got coming in at number 1 this week. This is Images, 8 Billion Genies, issue number 2. This is cover A. This was hands down the top read of the week, in my opinion. I absolutely loved every single thing about this second issue. A perfect continuation off of the first one. I'm a huge fan of this one. I'm so happy I was finally able to get my hands on it. Did get delayed from Diamond last week. Some people got it. I happen to be one of the people whose shops didn't get it. And now I finally read it. And man, I'll tell you what, even if this was a very heavy week of just books that I really enjoyed, I still think this probably would have gotten number 1. From the character development, the plot progression, the genies finally kind of making themselves more known and just laying out the ground rules of the wishes. Everything about this was just on point. Absolutely loved it. You got to read this series. And for those reasons, we absolutely have 8 Billion Genies, issue number 2, coming in, taking the crown this week at number 1. So everyone, what do you think about this week's new comic book day? I'm going to be honest with you, I really don't think it was all that great of a week. There was a ton of issues that I just thought were okay. I thought they were underwhelming, and there was quite a few of them that I really didn't enjoy either. A couple of them top spot ones, 8 Billion Genies, The Department of Truth, What's the Furthest Place from Here? I love those series. They were fantastic, top-notch issues as always. Definitely check them out, but be sure to let me know down below in the comment section what your top books of the week were and which ones you think I missed out on. And thank you for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, be sure to hit that thumbs up button, and if you don't want to miss out on any of my upcoming content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below and the little bell to get notified every time I drop new videos. You won't regret it. And I've got 2 more videos sitting off to the side here with more of my comic book content. Click on one of those and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.